Yes, people, what's up? Just finished a run, hence the sweaty t-shirt. I'm not sure if you can see it. I can smell it though. Was thinking on my run about the nature of suffering and the nature of pain. And having just been through 2 years of, or a good year of psychosis with a year of good recovery, there was a lot of suffering, a lot of, yes, I was very vulnerable, very vulnerable. And I wasn't able to defend myself against the suffering. I was victim to the suffering, or I became victim to the suffering. Maybe I was forced to be victim to the suffering so that I would humble myself. It says in the Bible, humble yourself before the Lord and he shall lift you up. And that's definitely what my experience was with that. However, there are things that I think we do have control over and we should be aware of if we're in a period of suffering. And that's something to take into consideration. Sometimes there are periods in our life where we have to go through pain and discomfort. Let's distinguish there. Suffering, pain and discomfort. Pain and discomfort happen regardless. There's nothing we can do about that. If I fall and twist my ankle, it's painful. If someone comes up and pokes me in the ribs, it's probably quite painful. If I lose somebody or I go through a breakup, it's going to be emotionally painful and uncomfortable. That I can't avoid. And when we try to avoid that, we try to push it down and suppress it, it kind of becomes something else. Now, suffering is what we choose to do. Suffering is what we choose to do. Suffering is fed by thoughts. So pain and discomfort is a feeling. It's in the body. Feelings are usually in the body. Thoughts happen in the mind. So if, for example, we go back to if I'm poked in the ribs, if you poke me in the ribs, yeah, that's painful. But if I start thinking, why did he poke me in the ribs? Oh, I was in a peaceful state and I'm creating this story. Now I'm going to start to suffer because I'm clinging on to something and trying to resist something that is. If I lose somebody, the pain is there. The pain of separation is there, whether that's a loss through death or a loss through a parting of ways. There is a pain there that is uncomfortable. Suffering happens when I ruminate on what's happened and think about it. So I'm thinking like, why did they leave me? Why did I do this wrong? Why did this happen? And part of the thinking is necessary. It's necessary to be able to kind of analyze certain things like, where did I go wrong? And what led to the relationship breaking up? And so that you can take and learn from that and move forward. And if you do decide to get into relationships in the future, you can go in with a better mindset or a better heart set as well. But suffering is when we continuously think about it and kind of make ourselves to be a victim and sit in that suffering. We sit in the suffering. So, yeah, like I say, there's seasons. There's a season to suffer. There's a season of winter. There's a season of summer. Just like your emotions, there's a season to suffer and a season to prosper. So when you're in a season of pain, of suffering, it's important to sit in it for a while. I think personally, it's important to sit in it for a while, to feel the depth of the pain, to go all the way to the deepest parts of it and sit in it and feel it, experience it, cry with it, get angry with it, all of that stuff. But you can't lose yourself in it. If you lose yourself in it, this is where things like self-harm come into play, or over consumption of alcohol and drugs and pornography and trying to kind of fill that hole. That's avoidance. That's avoidance of the pain. That's I don't want to feel the pain, so I'm going to feel anything other than that. Or I'm going to try and take the pain away. That's not how this works. You have to go through it. You have to sit in it. You have to be with it. Appreciate it. Acknowledge it. And be like, yeah, this is painful. This shit hurts. This hurts. But it's after a period of time, that can be weeks, it can be months, it can be years, man. It can be years. Once you've sat with that pain, felt it, over the months, it's going to decrease in intensity. From my own experience, this is how it's worked. Usually for me around the full moon. Now, I'm not saying there's anything to it and that everyone will experience that. But for me, leading up to the full moon, after my breakup in December, every full moon I would cry, I would feel things, not just from that relationship, but from other relationships and even from family members passing away and friendships that have deteriorated. And I would feel it all coming up and I would sit with it. I'd feel myself want to go, no, swallow it. But I'd sit with it, I'd close my eyes, I'd go into it, and boom, I'm crying. And it's like, oh yeah, this is tough. But then the next full moon, the month after, it was like there was less tears and less pain. And to the point now where this full moon, I was just a little bit sad. I just had some sadness sat in here. And I couldn't quite bring it to the surface or understand what it was, but I just sat with it. Okay, I'm sad today. I accepted it. That's another point. Acceptance takes the suffering away. If I go through a breakup, I get some pain onto me, and I accept it, and that all that means is I accept it. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's an internal thing that you do. You go, okay, this is how I'm feeling. Okay, this is what's happened. It doesn't take away from the pain, but it opens up a space where peace can grow. It's like acceptance, space. And then there's a feeling of like, because you're no longer resisting, no longer pushing against this thing that's happening to you that you need to experience. You're accepting it. You went, okay, cool. And because you've accepted it, you can't really suffer because there's no thoughts, no stories, no continued projection of future or reminiscing of the past or, living in the suffering, the victimhood. It's an acceptance. So yeah, where was I? I went off track. Yeah, so take time to feel it. Then accept it. Once you've accepted it and you've felt it for long enough, you'll get to a point where you no longer want to feel like that anymore. Initially, you probably want to feel the pain. You probably want to experience. There's something about it, like you'll listen to sad music and you'll think about it and you'll bring up the feelings. It's like it's your body's understanding knowing it needs to heal from this and through. So, like if you've got a septic boil or a septic cut, the stuff needs to come to the surface and comes out as pus and that yellow stuff, and then it scabs over. It's kind of like the emotional healing. So you'll want to feel the pain initially, but you'll get to a point after the healing, the accepting, where you want to improve. You're like, I want to get better now. It's then making a decision. There's something in the mind that happens where you go, I am now, just like you made a decision to accept, you're now making a decision to get better. And that looks different for everybody. For me personally, it was no longer being victim to the things that were going wrong in my life. The people that were leaving me as I was changing, the people that didn't really like the person I was becoming, the things that would go wrong in the day, or I thought they was going wrong. People walking out in front of me, or cars pulling out in front of me, or things breaking and going wrong. And initially, it would send me into a panic. I'd be like, "Oh my God, everything's going wrong, and I'm stuck in hell." And all these psychosis thoughts would come up. The thoughts again, the story. But then I made a decision. I'm like, I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. It's all gonna go wrong. Cool, I accept it. None of it's ever gonna work out for Zach. That's okay. I accept it. And the more I accepted these things, the less they would happen. Another thing that I would do to get out of it is, I made a decision. I realized I'd fallen into a negative thinking pattern. And we tend to do this as well. If we go through a period of challenges, we think this is how it's going to be forever. And we start to everything goes wrong for me. No one's ever going to love me. And these little bits will come up in the head, maybe consciously, or maybe it's a background program that's running. Once you catch that, you can then relinquish it, release it, or accept it, or just, it creates a space. Then you fill the space with the opposite. So what I'm saying is, if you've been through a time of challenges and you're constantly thinking negative, well, obviously by you thinking negative, you're kind of repeating the cycle. So to break the cycle, you need to do the opposite and think positive. Now, thinking positive is difficult if you're in a bad place and nothing's going right. Like me, live in a camper van, finances are low. My health was in a place where it wasn't so great. It's good now, thank God. Minimal friends at the minute, or close friends that I can kind of lean on and connect with. which is it is what it is. Maybe it's me, maybe it's them, maybe I don't really care. So it's hard to find the positives when you're going through a lot of negatives. But you have to kind of make a decision to look for them, as small as they are. So what I've done now for like 2-3 months, and it seems to be working. It's not like a magic thing that happens, but it seems to be working because I'm slowly coming out of the negative thinking and I'm actually seeing and thinking positively more quickly. I'm writing down, and it's so cheesy and so cliche, but I'm writing down a list of positive things at the end of each day from that day, or just things that I'm experiencing. And initially it would just be like, had a good conversation in the coffee shop with a good interaction. It might be, I enjoyed the coffee. It might be, I had a nice meal today. Little bits. And then it starts to grow because you start to rewire your brain to find positive things. Like you're rewiring to rewire that operating system to go, if this, then look for this. And you're looking for positive things. What else would I write down? Just like if there's people I was appreciating, new friends that were coming into my life, I'd be like, I appreciate this person. I had a great day today doing this, and I had a good workout, and I managed to do it. There's days where they've been a bad day, an intense day, but I've managed to turn it around, little positive. And I think by writing it down, especially at the end of the day before you go to bed, it kind of just helps to refocus your brain. And talking, I think talking about it plays a part in it. Again, to a degree. Therapy's great. So I've been to therapy. I've done multiple courses of therapy. My longest one is 2 years through the psychosis and through the recovery. And I'm getting to the end of it now. And I knew I was getting to the end of it because I was sick of talking about it. I was just like, I am fucking sick and tired of talking about my emotions because nothing's changing. So I'm like, well, what's the point in just keep spinning my wheels in this? Every time you talk about it, you seem to go further into it. It's like, I don't want to go further into it. I'm ready to be done with it. So I think that's part of the journey is once you've accepted, once you've made a decision to get better, and you've done all your talking about it in the challenging part. You've spoke about how you're feeling. You spoke about the situation. You spoke about the things that you did to participate in the situation. Then you get to the point where it's like, I'm not talking about this no more. I'm not thinking about this no more. I'm going to crack on with life. I am going to buckle up and crack on with life. There's a bit that came to me this morning about the Bible. Now, I'm not like well versed in remembering scripture, but there's a gentleman called Paul who came around after the death of Jesus, and he kind of experienced the spirit of Jesus after murdering a ton of Christians, from my limited understanding. So he repented, he came to God and through Jesus Christ, who he experienced. And anyway, after his transition, after his kind of awakening, he went around on a mission to convert, and he ended up in prison. He ended up like going through torturous situations. He got bit by snakes. The boat he was on, being transported as a prisoner, I believe, crashed. And he had to like somehow make it to shore. He ends up in prison again. So, but all the time he's writing these letters to these churches, and he's saying to them, he's like so positive. He's like, remain strong, remain in the faith, till the last day, basically till the day that you're dead. Keep running this race of goodness, of righteousness. Hold the faith, hold fast to the faith. And he's in prison. He's like on his deathbed, and he's even writing, any day now, I feel my time coming. And he's still positive because he understands what I've come to understand, I think, or come to experience, not understand, that life is meant to be suffered. It's meant to be suffered, some more than others. And the Buddhists say the first noble truth is that life is suffering. Well, if life is suffering, and that's a given, like death is a given, what are we resisting it for? Why don't we just accept it? And then through the acceptance, like I've already spoken about, remember what the goal is, the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to keep the faith, stay positive, stay righteous, be a good human being in all the ways that you already know how. God has written his rules upon your heart and your mind. I think that's what Jesus said. So we don't necessarily need to be reading the Bible. It helps, but because we already know what's right and what's wrong. And if we can just maintain our faith, our righteousness, our compassion, our peace, our acceptance, our understanding of, okay, it's going to be hard, then when we get to the last day, we can kind of just be like, did it, completed it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Peace be with you. If you're going through suffering right now, I pray that you manage to get what you need from it, that it teaches you what you need to know, that you can release the pain, release the thorn that's stuck in your foot that's causing that pain, that you can accept that what has happened and what is happening, and who you are is who you are, and what you have is what you have. I hope you can accept that, and I pray that in doing so, you experience the peace that comes with that, that you may allow joy and happiness to creep into your life through other ways, through smaller, overlooked, more precious ways, and that God blesses you in all ways. So yeah, that's all from me. Have a great day, and I will speak to you soon.